There's this moment where every time I hit record, I just want to quit because I stumble on my words. I get lost trying to figure out the flow of my thoughts. But there's something in me that keeps going because I don't want to just make YouTube videos. I want to grow. I want to learn how to communicate better. I want to learn how to serve better. Authenticity is the key here. At this point, I've published over 20 videos, mostly shorts, and I've stayed consistent. That's what I'm most proud of. No matter what was happening in my life, I kept showing up. And along the way, I've had to let go of a lot. The fear of what my relatives might say, this belief that I wasn't charismatic enough, and this outdated idea that I needed to sound super polished to be impactful. My journey with YouTube has been like learning how to play an instrument in the middle of a forest. At first, the trees don't clap, the birds don't cheer, but over time, something changes. You start to enjoy the sound of your own rhythm. You start to enjoy the rhythm and the state of flow with which you play your instrument. I realized my voice wasn't just about perfection, it was about presence. And slowly, it starts to feel like home. What surprised me the most was that I thought I needed a perfect plan. I thought I needed to map out everything and know everything there is to know about cinematography and videography. But really, all I just needed was curiosity. I started creating by asking, what fascinates me today? And the more I answered that question and followed that question, the more my voice found me. What I've learned is this: it's okay to fumble, it's okay to fail. In fact, fail often and fail more. It's okay to be real. And most of all, it's okay to be seen just as you are. Thanks to my friend Vin, I've now come to see my voice as an instrument. And like any other instrument, it improves when played with love rather than pressure. My very first YouTube video was published in January of this year, where I was speaking about New Year's resolutions and how there is a better way to approach New Year's resolutions with more structure rather than simply saying, I'm gonna achieve this year. And I remember it being so confusing because I had never really shot and scripted and set up for the video, and I was so all over the place. I was so scattered-minded, and I was also just not sure about what even I was talking about, in the sense that I didn't know how to articulate what I was sharing. One of the skills I've improved in this process is learning about copywriting. And it's not just about learning how to create the very flashy and very capturing moments, but rather also to how to combine storytelling with sharing in the moment. Because I do not like scripting and reading the script at all. Like, I hate just being like that because that feels very inauthentic to me, to have to create a script and then to read and memorize the script. And so I want to be able to share things just from the flow. However, I also noticed that when I do that, I'm so scattered-minded. Like, really, what am I just even talking about? And I just ramble around like this. So instead, what I've tried to do is I've created a script, have a bullet point list, and then I just take a little bits from the bullet points and just expand upon it and share more. That's been one of the biggest blessings to learn, because I feel like I want to be able to speak more authentically and to be able to share how I am, rather than just it being like a super polished, boxed kind of thing and like a perfect picture kind of idea. Like, what? Who needs that? We need more people-to-people connection today. One of my favorite videos that I've created so far has got to be the Revo barefoot shoe video, because it was just so effortless, and I really enjoyed the process because I felt there was not as much resistance coming up within me. I was not criticizing myself as much, I wasn't judging myself, I was just having fun with it, and it felt like there was a state of flow. And when I was in that flow, it felt so much easier to just talk about what I wanted to talk about. So that really changed the whole experience for me, because I wasn't just trying to learn something new and share it with you guys. I was just trying to share my experience. And that made all the difference, really, because as I was just sharing my experience, sure, I had stumbled upon words here and there, and I had to like cut out some of the content, but it was just really joyful to be able to be in that process of flow and to not struggle for once. One of the skills that I'm continuing improving throughout this journey and will continue improving throughout my life is learning how to communicate better. As you know, with AI, the technical knowledge jobs are going to be very much streamlined because AI can handle so much work efficiently and can work 24/7. So learning how to communicate is such an important skill, because my friend Win once said that, hey, you could be the smartest person on the planet, but if you don't know how to share about that, no one's gonna know. So in order to truly be effective in any line of work, I've learned that being able to communicate is such an essential skill in today's life. And that's one of the skills that I previously thought I had no communication skills. I didn't know how to talk well. I didn't know how to present myself well. And throughout this process, I'm refining my voice and also refining my skills and how I can show up better in an authentic way. So this has been a really wonderful blessing and a big struggle for me to be able to talk on camera, because I can talk to my friends all the time and share what I share, but talking on the camera is a little bit different. Honestly, the hardest part about making these YouTube videos was the inner dialogue that comes up, because I don't consider myself to be an expert in anything, and I'm just very curious about very different range of broad breadth of topics, and I learn quite a lot in different ways. And so it seems to me that I've been able to learn more and just share what I'm learning on YouTube and things I'm interested in. However, because I don't consider myself an expert, I get lost in this thought process of like, who am I to create this video? And what am I really doing here? And like, how do I talk about this? And what's even my point, my purpose? The resistance is really mental. And this mental dialogue resistance is actually an opportunity for me to think and reflect about what I think about myself. There's a really cool quote that I heard from Jay Shetty, who quotes Cooley, the philosopher, who says, "I'm not what I think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am." And that quote just blows my mind every time I listen to it, because we live in a bubble of a perception in a perception. And so it's so important to be able to bring that self-awareness inwards and to see how we're really interacting in the world. And this YouTube journey has been perfect way for me to learn how to let go of some of those fears and some of those ideas who I think should be, and just showing up on camera every time and being real. So let's take a walk in this beautiful landscape here, and I'll share more about what the future of this channel is going to look like. So what's the future of this channel going to be about? I think it will be continuing to be about different topics that I'm interested in, sharing with you guys on personal development and different psychological hacks, so to speak, on different things, and just about life, and continuing to learn about transitions myself. How can we transition more gracefully and eloquently between different periods of life, and even the ultimate transition, at the end of life, which is where I work as a hospice nurse right now. And to anyone out there who's afraid to start, I'll tell my younger self and you this: everyone's too worried about their own life to judge yours. So just start. Wherever you are in life and whatever you want to create in life, it starts with you. If you're on this journey to create something that truly speaks to you and that truly matters to you, I encourage you to think about this. What's one fear you have to let go of in order to create your best life? And remember this: you don't have to be perfect to be powerful.